Hello, good evening. Welcome to another episode of Shades of Edinburgh. We've got some vampire business going on at the White Hart Inn. Um, Ailey has kind of at least contacted Arthur and Milan about meeting her at the White Hart Inn. She's kind of sitting in a back booth, waiting, tapping her foot impatiently as she's known to do. Anyone near can hear the heel of the boot clicking on the floor.
How was the meeting portrayed to Milan? Was it like
She
this
just
is a emergency kind of a thing, or was it just a
just
we
said,
need to
"Hey, we
chat?
need to talk. Hey, we need to talk. Come meet me here."
Okay. He shows up. He's not like crazy punctual or whatever. He didn't sense any urgency that it was just sort of a come hang out, kind of a deal. So yeah, he strolls in after a while.
I, on the other hand, stroll in punctually. If I do not see you, I simply walk up to the bar and order a simple whiskey.
Oh, she's
Nothing.
definitely sitting in a booth where she can be seen. She's kind of watching the door.
Yeah.
Ali would,
Oh, go ahead.
Ali would see Vivian probably sitting down having a nice dinner, glass of wine in hand.
She'll give her a smile and a nod, noting that she's chowing down.
She nods back, gives her kind of like a 1 second type of signal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, probably about 10, 15 minutes later than you would have liked him to be there. Milan strolls in, kind of takes a look around the place. He's never been in here before. Sees you at the booth and gives you kind of the, oh, hey, and
So just a little info so you know. It's believed to be the oldest inn in the city. The building dating back as far as 1740, while the original cellar is from the 1500s. So it's just a classic Scottish pub. Nothing crazy. There's a couple of bouncers, typical pub scene. Ailey will just kind of like look at Milan and shake her head like, always fashionably late. I use fashionably loosely, Milan, as she like motions towards his coat.
I didn't know it was a date, so I didn't dress up for you. And B, I didn't know it was a date, so I didn't know I had to be here exactly on time. I walked in and, got distracted by some cool buildings. Sorry.
There are many of those. Is Arthur here yet, too?
Oh, I'm at the bar.
Okay.
Sipping on a whiskey. I see Milan come in and I walk over.
Oh. Good evening, Arthur.
Good evening to you as well.
Would you gentlemen like to take a seat?
Why do I feel like I'm in trouble?
Probably because we are in trouble.
She kind of nods. Mm-hmm.
Eh.
Listen, you're lucky that it's me calling you out and not somebody else. The cops are looking for you guys, right?
Only a little.
Well, I mean, they're looking for you. She looks at Arthur. because they think that you were baiting people with drinks.
That was me. That was indeed me.
Yeah. They very, you might want to think about changing your attire, sweetheart. They know the suit. And as for you, Milan.
Oh, as you say his name, he's looking up from he was very intently staring at, the, I don't know, some bit of architecture or something, just some detail that probably would otherwise have been overlooked. He's just very into whatever that is, some woodworking or something. Yes?
They're looking for you for stalking, loitering, and, well, potentially murder.
Because, you were loitering where the bodies were found.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Is it about this time that Vivian's finishing up the last of her meal? She finishes dabbing her face, takes the check, pays it, gets up with her wine in hand, walks over. Ali, dear, it has been such a long time since I have seen you. How are you?
Oh, I'm good. Well, as good as one can be, given the situation I'm dealing with. But how are you?
Oh, back in town for a little while. Thought I would just have something to eat at the old White Inn and see how everything's happening.
Ah, well, I've recently just got back into town myself, so I can't really give a big update.
Traveling abroad, were you?
I was in Amsterdam for a while.
Interesting. And who are these lovely gentlemen that you've got with you?
Trouble. And trouble too.
Trouble and trouble too. Always fun, aren't they?
Oh, yes. Now, and she motions to Milan. I strongly suggest you change your attire too for a while.
Not because you're suspicious, it's just doesn't really have any flair to it.
Flair?
No, that's that flair. We're trying not to draw attention to him here, all right? And sweetheart, I hate to tell you, the trench coat's gonna really drag you down if you keep wearing it. Given that's what you were wearing.
Darling, if you're going to wear a trench coat, at least make it fashionable. And she kind of does a little bit of a pose in hers.
I don't think I could pull it off the way you're pulling yours off.
Perhaps.
Yeah, you seem to be missing a few assets. Haley chuckles at Milan.
Well, I suppose if the police are looking for me, I don't really want to talk to them yet.
She's like, why don't you give me your trench coat?
He empties his pockets and he's like, I guess it makes sense. And hands it over. It's not like beat to hell, but it's definitely well worn.
Need a new one anyways.
If he has a little bit of dedication in him, he could always do his hair a different color as well. That would also throw them off. Maybe give him more of a Scottish red.
You can hear the sarcasm oozing off of him when he says, I've always wanted to have frosted tips.
It's a good way to hide your age.
Oh. Oh. No. She's just looking at Milan. She's back and forth between Milan and Vivian imagining this and just, no, no.
Darling, I could give you some tips if you wanted frosted tips.
Maybe another day.
And as for you, fine-looking lad that you are there, trouble too, was it?
I presume.
I see.
Yes, he's trouble too. He's less trouble than this one.
Well, that's good. Now,
I say that with all the love.
he may not need to actually change his appearance if it's just him being questioned about trying to bait people with drinks. I mean, everybody tries to bait people with drinks at some point when they're flirting. Isn't that right, darling?
I only placed my beer on the counter of the bar and simply wandered away and stared intently at it. I don't imagine the police will make a big deal about it.
You hope
thanks,
not. If they're looking for you, I suspect they have questions to ask. Given there's bodies involved. Overdosed bodies.
Oh, well, that does make it a little bit different.
Mm-hmm.
That, and, well, they do like to ask their questions, usually during the daytime.
That's true. That makes it a little difficult for them, but I'm sure if they can get their hands on them, they'll ask at night too.
Tis true. Tell me, boy, do you have yourself a good lawyer?
Perhaps the one, well, not at the current moment, but one's easy to find.
I'm sure he can afford it. Ailey chuckles, eyeballing his suit.
Yes, I'm guessing so.
It's always good to have a lawyer on hand.
So, instead of standing here, may I sit down?
Absolutely.
Thank you, darling. And she has a seat beside Allie.
All right. You see, we have a Michelle. Do you want an intro?
How you doing? How's it going? Where are we?
We are at the White Hart Inn.
Oh, cool. Awesome. I've been here before.
Yep.
Did Allie let her know this was happening here?
Oh, of course.
Cool. Okay. She'll, the door of the inn will open, and no one will see anyone walk in unless they're looking down.
The door just opens.
Yeah. It opens. A moment later, Michelle comes into view. She's wearing what looks like a Catholic schoolgirl uniform.
Oh,
Hey.
my.
How's it going?
Ailey smirks and looks.
There's a
around.
cross, by the way. Oh.
Oh! Ailey is promptly getting up and leaving the table.
The hell?
Not saying a damn word. She's getting up and walking away from the table.
Something
Excuse
hanging
me.
out?
Crawling over Vivian.
Excuse me,
You just
darling.
sat down.
Could you do me a favor and just kind of tuck that away? I think it bothers a few of the other patrons here.
She's looking down at her skirt, make sure nothing's hanging out, or checking her shirt. What?
The cross.
Oh. She looks at Ailey curiously and tucks it
Who's
under
gone
her
to the
shirt.
bar to at least make it look like she's getting a drink.
Okay. Oh, hey,
Her back
Flasher.
is turned.
Sparkles.
How you doing?
I guess I'm in trouble.
For what? What'd you do? Follow somebody?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah,
Oh.
they must have taken it seriously when they heard I was stalking people back at the liquid place.
Oh. I forgot about that part.
And don't forget when you took I used air quotation marks on my fingers, a breath outside and hung around there for a little bit.
I mean, I don't recall being the only one out there, so I don't know why they would automatically assumed that I had anything to do with them finding corpses in a dumpster, but apparently I'm tied to this as well.
Oh, that's great. They must not have seen me out there with you. Wouldn't be the first time.
Lucky you.
After a
She
few
shrugs.
moments, Ailey starts to, after she gets her drink, she'll like look back over.
She waves. Blondie?
Is the cross put away?
It is.
She'll kind of casually walk back over.
All right. Who's rocking what aura?
Who's rocking what aura?
Yes, I can see.
3 vampires.
You know,
No,
the 3
it's-
vampires.
3
No,
vampires and mortal with sparkles.
Okay.
Well, I guess she would sparkle, wouldn't she?
Mm-hmm.
Would it be sparkle and pale, technically?
Slightly pale, but not as pale as a vampire.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know if the other thing would actually have any effect. I should ask John. Give me 1 sec. I got to ask him something.
Yeah.
Is Vivian a ghoul?
Something.
And you see Ailey had Milan's trench coat under her arm.
She'll kind of slowly lean over and then look at him. What is he wearing?
Basically just a white button-up shirt.
Huh.
I mean, also
See-
pants and shoes and stuff, but like without his trench coat, he wasn't really expecting anything special.
So I wore the outfit, and now you don't have the coat on.
Yeah, sorry.
I took it from him.
I mean, I guess we could do, the punk thing and tear the sleeves off, but I think it would look weird with these khaki pants.
Probably.
Yeah.
See, when I call him Daddy now, it won't sound as creepy, but oh well.
Hey, the frosted tips would definitely come in handy then, wouldn't they?
Yes, you did wear the outfit for him, didn't you?
I did.
I do appreciate the attention to detail.
I do my best. Okay, so what bodies?
There were apparently, police found a couple bodies in the dumpster.
The head overdose.
Near the dumpster. I'm sorry. Yes, they overdosed. In the very alley that you were all hanging out in.
Well,
I mean,
Well, you two were.
nobody saw me.
That's true. Nobody saw you.
It's normal.
Okay. But yes, Milan here is
I'm a wanted
looking
man.
for him. Yeah,
Aren't you
he's
a
a
narc,
wanted
though?
man.
Like,
Weird how that works, isn't it?
I mean, can't you like pull some strings and clear that up or something?
I have no authority here.
Well, it sounds like you need to get into crime rather than
I mean, I
Sorry.
do have, a fairly extensive understanding of the legal system in Amsterdam. I'm assuming it's not that much different here.
Probably not drastically.
Except for the drugs, of course.
Oh, there's, yeah.
And the
That's true.
prostitution.
He looks at Michelle.
What? What?
Oh, nothing.
No. You're, no. What?
I'm admiring your skirt. You're lovely.
I feel like I appreciate it, but I'm pretty sure you're dodging. What?
I was, drugs. You have drugs on you?
Do I have drugs on me? Yeah,
Yeah.
I keep them. Figure out where I have them.
The drugs. No.
No, I mean, fail.
You afraid?
He's, doing his Milan blush and starts looking at other people at the table like,
Help.
yeah.
You're on your own on this one, Milan.
All right, so what do we do about corpses in this burg?
Well,
They're already handled. The police have them, so there's not much we can do with them.
Maybe plastic
we could
surgery?
We could go get them.
And then what? You're already wanted.
No body, no crime?
Does that work that way? Like, are you kidding me? Or
I don't know.
you're a
I
cop?
don't know how well.
I know that it's harder to pin things on people when they don't have evidence. I also know that if we're trying to find who killed them and what's going on with these drugs, having the bodies might be beneficial.
Now, the only problem that comes up with that is if you get caught trying to get those bodies, because they will be at the morgue, then you're going to have to deal with a whole slew of other issues.
Shell will move to the bar, grab a beer. There's probably some comment about her only getting half a pint. And she went back over.
Half pint for a half pint?
They tried to do it last time I was here. She's like, "Oh, you don't want a half pint?" I'm like, "No, not a hobbit." She's like, "Oh, if you're a hobbit, we'd give you a pint."
Oh.
And they'd expect a song and dance, which is quite possible if I drink enough. But anyway. So you're just a suspect in the murder, right?
I think I'm just wanted for questioning. There's no real.
Yeah,
As far as I know, I
imagine.
can't imagine they have any evidence
So
other than the fact that I happen to be there.
Go in for questioning.
And stalking.
I mean, they want someone for stalking. I don't know, again, that they would have evidence to say that that was me specifically.
Not unless I came forward to discuss that with them, or the bodyguard, the bouncers, or whatever. Bodyguards.
But
Is
even
Ailey
then,
wearing that outfit?
Huh?
Is Ailey wearing the outfit she has in the picture?
Yes.
You were complaining about my cross, and you're just sitting there with, poor Milan here. Can't focus.
With what? And she puts her hands under her boobs, and she's like, "Boobs?"
Yes.
Did they bother you? Milan? Arthur? Viv?
Nah.
Milan doesn't understand the reference.
I'll take that as a no. Noting his expression. You're the only one bothered by them.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I would just go in for questioning to be done with it.
I suppose there's sense there.
Yeah.
I mean, you could even spin it as you were working a case left over from Amsterdam, and you were trying to get into the police here or something like that.
I'm sure they would be well aware if someone from out of their jurisdiction was here.
I mean, unless it was working some sort of private investigation.
There you go.
Could say that your client is one of the victims of the serial cases around town.
Yeah, that's valid. I think I may do that, especially if I'm going to stay. Why not get involved with the local beat?
Never mind. That wasn't Ailey that was there. Just kidding. Scratch what I was going to say.
I think I know. Milan, do you recall what was her name again? That cemetery that we were at. She had connection.
Which, oh,
Bonnie.
uh,
Out of character
Bonnie.
Bonnie.
Thank you.
okay, Milan would
I think her
remember.
name was Bonnie.
I do remember Bonnie. I don't know how to contact her.
Let me see his coat.
Who's Bonnie? What do you want
I
with
do
this coat?
have.
Huh? Let me see it.
I did call that person they had in contact. Perhaps they could help us clean up these bodies as well.
That is a really good idea. Can you text me that information?
Better yet, I take out my good old-fashioned pen and paper and I write it down. And
Ooh.
slide the paper to you.
Paper trail.
Very retro. He shoves it in his pocket.
Just a number. Don't know who was on either side. Just that they were well connected and cleaning up.
Seems like a
Yeah.
handy contact to have.
Well, I'll call them and see what they say. Probably won't lead with, "Can you help us make this go away?" But
Perhaps see what they're about.
yeah.
You try the desperate approach, crying, sobbing.
That works better for
I
the lady.
narrowly escaped a spanking by the Duncerns. Help.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I'll make that call later. And
Yes, that sounds like a good call.
see what they would advise about going into the local precinct.
Now, here comes an interesting question, actually, is you were in the alleyway. You were, she does the quotes and the air quotes, stalking. Did you by chance see anything else that might actually tie someone else to the murders of these two people in the dumpster?
The only thing that I saw was out of character. I'm assuming I'm remembering this correctly. If not, keep me honest. What I saw when I got out there was a limo pulling away.
What color limo?
Black.
Okay.
I think I walked out right after that, right?
Yeah,
You were like,
I was.
Hey, limo people.
They were gone. I didn't have time to, try and get a license plate or anything like that. I don't know how many limos there would be in Edinburgh, but
But that certainly narrows it down a little bit. They might be able to find something else that way.
You know
Right.
anything about the bodies?
I didn't even know they were there.
I wonder if they were there when we walked out.
Well, I mean, you guys did walk out before we were finished in that party room, if I recall correctly.
Just Milan left.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Then I had
It was.
You
I
and
was all
Michelle
clubbed
there.
out for the
Copy
evening.
of the receipt.
So, what were you doing at the liquid room in the first place?
Looking into people spiking drinks with the drugs.
I see.
She does the quotes for him.
So, from what you're saying, then, you were looking into the people that were spiking drinks, causing people to be drugged, and two of the bodies were found drugged in the dumpster out back.
There it is, yeah.
Sounds to me like you were getting a little closer than what people would like.
Yeah, especially
this is actually the
Michelle's
first I've
little
heard about it.
boyfriend group.
Hmm?
They had all kinds of drugs in their little party room.
Yeah, I tried to get in, but they weren't going for it.
Well, Arthur and I didn't have any issues. She chuckles.
Though we arrived late, it was clear.
We did, yeah. I
Pretty
still
horrid
haven't
that
been
people
able
do
to
that.
sort out what exactly they were dosing people with.
Working on
Could
that.
be a number of things.
So, what you're saying basically is that finding the toxicology report from the police department on those two bodies and the autopsy reports would probably be the easiest way for you to actually take care of situations like this. You don't need to secure the body, just the information about the body that the police found out.
It's
Mhm.
true because it's not like you did anything to the body.
Until 20 minutes ago, I wasn't even aware there were bodies. So yes.
Hmm.
Not to mention your DNA wouldn't be on those bodies, which would actually exonify you right away with that.
No,
Out of
I don't think
character.
Milan is going to be giving the police any DNA anytime soon.
Oh, I understand exactly. But I'm just saying, if your DNA is not on there, or if they find DNA on it that is actually a match to somebody else, it will ensure that you are not the target or not the suspect.
Hmm. Though, that being said, Milan, how
Mhm.
skilled are you at the art of getting into people's heads?
I've
Michelle
been
will
known
ring
to
an
get
eyebrow.
into a head before.
Yes, but not with stone.
Good one. Um, um, yeah, I mean, I have. It didn't work at the Liquid Lounge or whatever, but it's happened before.
So,
So you know how to use those abilities should you need to,
Right.
if they
I,
work
I was
for
going
you.
to say, your Jedi mind tricks might be a good thing to use if you do go on to an interview with them. Give them the information that you need, and maybe give them the subtle hints that you are not the person they are looking for.
Yes.
Though, what if they want to talk to you during the day?
I will give them my cell phone number.
And they can leave a
Okay.
lovely message.
But as I'm here as a tourist, it's quite likely that could be out in the country, during the daytime and
Well,
unavailable. So
Vivian reaches into her trench coat, pulls out a business card, and goes, "For the right price, I have a room where they could actually speak with you, and you could stay temporarily." And she hands you the business card.
he looks at it. Thank you. Slides it
just
into
looks
his shirt pocket. I appreciate the offer.
Right.
You-
Well, if anyone needs a place to stay, the Evening's Hot Hotel is a great one. I am the purveyor, of course, of such a location. And as I said, for the right price, which does not have to be financial because I do know of your means, of course, you can secure a room that is secure for your kind.
Ailey will just smile at them both.
Excellent. Noted.
Noted as well.
Michelle will just sip her beer.
Does anyone else need a business card as well? She pulls out another one.
Sure, if you want.
I think I know where to find you.
Of course you do.
I have one, but here, she'll hand her a stick of gum. Here you go.
Thank you. Is this a hint?
No.
She
That's
hands
what I
one
had.
hands one also to Arthur.
I take out one of my own cards. And if you ever need financial advice, my group will be more than happy to help.
Absolutely. Thank you
Oh, are
very
you
much.
a bookie?
Financial banker.
She seems a little
Haley kind
disappointed.
of chuckles,
You think?
given the nature of the Duncern family.
Now, that being said, as I said, you can use one of the rooms to speak with the police. They do usually make house calls, and the room would be secure, so you could speak to them during the daytime. Although I do know your faculties would be a little dulled compared to normal. One of the flaws that your kind have.
Beer is still delicious, by the way. If anybody's curious.
As Ailey's just sitting there with this glass of wine that's untouched.
Well, if it comes to that, I will definitely take you up on the secure room. I think I'll try to keep it either over the phone or evening hours, though.
Right then.
As I probably would need to have all of my faculties about me.
Quite
Likewise.
possibly. I just know your kind don't do very well during the daytime. Kind of sleepy, you know what I mean? She takes a nice deep sip of her wine.
Yeah.
Out of game. Do Tremere auras show up sparkly because they've got the blood magic stuff, or is it just
No.
vampire aura?
Nope, just vampire aura. Not the
Okay.
same. It's a blood magic, just like
But it's not like
necromancy,
magic.
right?
As far as I know, yeah. Sparkle should just be for magic.
Magic, legit magic, not vampire magic.
Magic.
Mhm.
Well, I suppose I insisted that you give me your trench coat. Do you feel naked, Milan?
I feel naked.
Yeah, I
He
bet you
raises
do.
an eyebrow.
Haley just looks at Michelle. Yeah, I bet you do.
I think I'll manage. It does feel weird to be out without it, but I'm sure I can find something else.
Oh, it's like what was his name? Linus, with his blanket, right? Okay, I get it now.
Linus in his blanket. Yep.
Milan in
Milan's
his trench
trench
coat.
coat. Ailey kind of like lifts, like is eyeballing like the worn out trench coat, shaking her head.
It's been with me a long time.
Oh, it's your security blanket. I'm sorry, Milan. Sorry.
Well, I mean, if he's gonna talk to the cops, you might as well just let him have it back.
At least
No,
they'll know who they're talking to.
no.
Oh,
I'm
it's that
sorry,
time.
Milan. It's awful. It's time for a new one.
Oh,
Pardon me.
Ah,
so I got here late. So I know you. She points to everyone. Then points to Vivian. I don't know you.
Points to me.
Yep.
Oh yes, where are my manners? My name is Vivian. It is a pleasure to meet you. I have been a long-term resident of Edinburgh and a purveyor of a hotel chain. My services are also up for hire once in a while to your kind, and a lot of the times to the magical folk, although the furry ones don't seem to like me too much.
When you say my
I wish
kind,
they
what do
liked
you
me less.
mean?
Your kind. I think it should be pretty obvious what I'm talking about if I know what Ali is and what she's speaking to you two fellas about.
Oh no 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 no. No. I don't I enjoy long walks in the sun.
You
Every
do.
day. He says to Haley.
Oh, I miss those.
They're amazing still.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Well, perhaps you'll be up for a round of golf later on tomorrow.
Go. I mean, sure.
Do they make clubs that small?
No.
Haley covers her mouth as she says it out loud, like, oops, I really didn't mean to say that out loud.
I'm pretty sure they have like training putters for little kids. I can probably get one of those, at noon in the light of day, enjoying the vitamin D coming into my skin.
She kind of looks over to
I'm
Ali.
looking forward to vitamin D.
Huh?
Oh, I said I bet you were looking forward to some vitamin D. She kind of eyeballs the schoolgirl outfit.
Oh no, that was She looks to Milan. I don't think he can hang.
Milan clearly has no idea what you're talking about.
Vivian gives a glance to Ali when Arthur was talking about not being one of your kind.
No, Arthur?
Mm-hmm.
Michelle?
Oh, Michelle was the one. Sorry. Michelle
Yeah,
saying
Michelle, yep.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
I thought it was Arthur saying that.
No.
No.
Arthur's just like us top 3 people in the columns.
Right. Interesting.
Churches are fun too.
Yes. For most.
No.
So tell me then, how did you get yourself wrapped up with these fellas?
I saw him standing weirdly in line at the club and just decided to be nosy.
Looks over to Ali again.
She kind of looks over at Vivian.
Kind of side eyes over to Michelle. And that's okay, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Although that's kind of the half truth. It's more of the infatuation about the trench coat.
Mm-hmm.
And now
That
that's
wasn't
gone.
bad. Yeah.
All right. She like me?
Mm-hmm. Well, kind of.
Does she belong to one of you?
No. I wouldn't sub. And she starts to talk, and then she just stops.
No, go ahead.
Vivian
Go ahead.
Vivian takes a sip of her drink.
Go ahead. What were you going to say, Allie? Go ahead. No. All 4'8" of me is right here.
I was
Milan
going to
doesn't
say
seem
I don't
fazed by that
think I
reference.
could subject an outsider to my life.
I'm just wanting to make certain that it's not a breaking of any specific rules, if you know what I mean.
Mm-mm. No,
I guess
not
it was-
as far as I know.
Not on my part.
Not
I
for
don't
me.
even know which rules you're talking about.
Your rules. The rules of your kind.
My business partner might not like either of you, but it is what it is.
Anyone want to fill me in on the rules we're talking about?
You,
I assume
neither
the
of you will be
tradition-
meeting him.
Sometimes people in our groups will have servants and they're completely voluntary.
Are you
Yes,
saying-
you like
Yes,
Milan's
yes,
trench
they
coat
are.
so much. You like Milan's trench coat so much, you could always become one of his servants.
She just looks at Vivian like she must be joking. Oh yeah.
It would literally become your daddy.
No, that's good. I've heard about
Is that how that works?
I've never had
sippy
a
sip.
servant, but I'm pretty sure it has nothing to do with handing off trench coats.
No,
Mm.
but she seems to have a liking for you in your trench coat. I thought maybe she'd be interested in
It's a
joining you.
fantastic trench coat.
I mean,
Was
No,
a fantastic trench coat.
no, I've heard about the sippy sip. I'm not. I'm good.
So what are you then?
Well, I'm about 4'8".
You know what I mean. What are you?
Oh, probably similar to you in the way you sparkle.
Ah, okay. So if that's the case, out of character, your character would also know Vivian by reputation. And she does have a little bit of standing in your community.
Okay. Does she have a tradition or?
No, she would be counted as a hedge mage.
Ah, okay. Interesting.
At least to the mages, she's counted as a hedge mage.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. So I get it now. That's okay then. I know that there has been sharing between the different creatures of the night before. Not that you're specifically a creature of the night, but you understand what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this is a gathering place for everybody.
Yes.
So it stands to reason we'd likely bump into a variety of night folk.
Right. Though those lupines don't like to come around too much, do they?
I try to avoid them. I wouldn't know.
I mean, I can invite one if you really want. I think I know
Well,
one.
I avoid them the best that I can anyway.
So,
And
like,
she
who would
rolls
want
her
me to
eyes slightly.
call?
Yeah, I only know one, and yeah.
One and yeah, huh?
Sometimes that's the best way. Although, oddly enough, they're very tied to the earth. They don't like your kind very much.
Not all of
Yeah.
them are that way.
True. True.
Yeah, as far as I know, I've only ever met the one, and she seems okay with me being me. Of course, I haven't crossed her either.
Pasty?
Something.
Did you ever find out what what is it that they call them again? It's not clan like you, it's
Tribes.
that's the name, tribe.
It's so primal.
Well, they are tied to the earth. Or as they call it, Gaia.
They aren't all serving of this Gaia, though.
No. But those are usually the ones that have issues with others of the kind.
They're usually the ones that like us. Well, not like, but can find a use. She rolls her eyes again.
Right. And what house do you hail from, Michelle?
Me? It's a complicated and long answer.
I have all the time in the world.
Okay. Well, I'll make a deal with all of you. You all go first, and then I will go.
What was the question?
What
She
house
wants
are
to-
you?
She wants to know what clan you guys are, and in exchange, she will divulge what house she is from.
Ailey just stares. Like,
She just
nope.
looks back at her.
Just look down at my attire. Can't you guess?
So I take that as a no.
Oh, I just. You asked. I see it as only fair.
Oh, I understand completely. It is quite an interesting question. It's just, it seems that they seem to be a little secretive themselves. She gives a little bit of a giggle.
There are some things that just don't need to be shared. Hmm.
So is it me or you not trust each other with that info?
I'm assuming it's the fact that you aren't one of them.
Could be.
That's the biggest thing. It's the same type of thing as your kind like to keep things kind of to their chest too.
I mean, I'm fine with trading.
Mm-hmm.
But a 3-for-1 isn't exactly fair, though.
3-for-1, yes. I was just curious, trying to make small talk, you know.
It's fine.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
As for Ali, I already know her, so that's not a big issue for me.
Right. Right.
I've known her family for a long time.
Quite some time.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm still relatively new to the whole thing, so
Which,
Young are you?
Which thing?
my thing.
The pasty thing?
Yeah.
You and me both.
Now, when you say young to the whole, or new to the whole thing, are you talking years, decades, centuries, eons?
Years.
Yeah, interesting. If I remember, Ali, I understand your position too. I think I remember when you were born.
You probably do.
Oh,
Given
memories.
yes, yes.
So,
She kind of glances over at Milan and she's like, "Yeah, I'm in the same boat."
I see.
He just kind of nods. Like, I mean, I don't get carded for beer, so I guess that's good enough.
That's always a good step. I'm sure Michelle might have a few issues with that once in a while. You do look a little petite, and some people might mistake you for a little bit young, especially in your current outfit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I guess then, depending on how old Arthur is, I might be the grandmother of the group.
I would assume you are.
Hmm?
My age does not excel my current age of unlife.
Oh, I understand that. I just say, depending on how old you are, I might be the grandmother of the group.
And how old are you?
Mhm. Don't you know it's not a polite thing to ask a lady her age?
Haley kind of chuckles.
If you want a hint, let's just say I've known Ali's family for 1, 2, 3 of the current local leaders.
So a very long time.
You could say so.
So, You
Like she said,
serve
she
one of
remembers
the.
when I was born.
Hmm.
Who do you serve in the city then?
Myself.
Oh, okay. You don't have a supplier, as it were.
Well, yes and no. Part of my prices do involve blood, but I do not serve one specific kindred. I sell my services out, as well as rooms at my hotel for different costs. That being one, favors, finances, of course, are always good, and instruction once in a while on things.
Hmm.
How old's the hotel you run?
The hotel that I've run,
Mhm.
mm, it's been around for about, well, a few hundred years. 1700s. Yeah, it was. I opened in 1700. Yes.
Wow.
Well, the first hotel. Then I went and I opened up a few others in the chain. And yes, expanded out into North America even. Although that one didn't do as well.
No?
They don't like the old world charm there as much as, well, the old world.
That's unfortunate.
It
I've
has.
never
bit
been over
split.
there, but people are always asking about socks, from what I understand.
Yeah, well, I mean, how you think you're going to do this year?
Mhm.
I mean,
I
you
looked it up.
started. But,
I
Yeah.
looked up what you were talking about.
yeah, the socks.
Mhm.
Right, the ball team
Yeah,
socks.
You thought
What
she
are your
meant
thoughts?
literal socks.
this year.
Well, I mean, that's what she was asking about. I mean, my socks typically get changed frequently, and after several months of use, they go in the garbage. I mean, I didn't know if she was selling socks. I don't know, but it makes more sense now.
Did you just say
Uh,
that you wear your socks for several months at a time?
Not
no.
without
That's
washing them in
disgusting.
between.
No. He said he changes them. He said that after a few months of use, he tosses them out.
Shh. Shh. I have
Now,
to tease the man.
as for baseball, the American pastime, it's quite a complicated sport. I don't know how much of it you've actually watched, but it's very boring without alcohol
What?
to watch.
It's great. It's much more fun than golf.
It's the difference between playing and watching. Golf, I consider as boring too when you watch it, but playing it can be very fun and stress relieving. Baseball, I'm sure, is probably the same, although I've never actually played. I just know that watching it is very boring. 9 people standing out in a field waiting for a ball to come to them, to throw it back, and hopefully touch another man with it. Touching a man with your balls doesn't sound fun to me.
She rolls her eyes. Whatever.
For some people, it might be.
Possibly. But not me. Well, I guess I don't have the balls to do that with anyway, but you know what I mean.
Milan, you ever touch anybody with balls?
Not recently. Oh, we're not talking about baseballs or other sports balls, are we?
No.
No, sir, we are not.
I was completely doing that.
Okay.
Vivian waves over the waitress for another glass of wine.
Yeah, Milan blushes and kind of mumbles off into it's a balls of them. No.
They asked
Well,
that.
aren't
I
you
was just
lucky?
asking about the sport. That's all.
Right. I'm not a big sports ball kind of guy.
Well,
It's cool that you like it, though. I support you in your like of the Sox.
I like the Patriots too. We can actually, they didn't have a great year this year. But we can We'll have to meet up and talk about it.
Hmm. Now, if you like another one where it's hitting balls with sticks, I also enjoy billiards.
Ooh.
Never got into it.
No?
Can't reach the table that well.
Ah, yes, it would be awkward if you were walking around with a step stool.
I have one in my car.
I'm afraid, compared to all of you, I'm very boring.
Well, what do you like to do then?
Read.
Read what?
There's nothing wrong with that.
Very, very old books.
That's all I do. That's all I do is read.
Reading is always a good thing.
Do you like old things,
Me?
Milan?
Yeah, sometimes.
I mean, the books that I read are old.
Hmm.
I mean, Michelle may appreciate this Order of Hermes kind of stuff that has been collected over time.
Order of Hermes?
Order of what?
No? Never
What?
mind. Nothing.
No. Order of what?
Hermes?
What about them?
Oh, just some books that I had on them.
Oh,
Well, had
interesting.
access to on them anyway.
Why would you have books on Order of Hermes?
I don't. They were at a library.
What library?
It was back in Amsterdam.
Oh,
Yeah, this library in Amsterdam is quite useful.
Out of character, just to make certain, that was Arthur that was talking about reading books about Order of Hermes?
That was Milan.
Milan. Okay.
Milan and Michelle.
Okay. I was just double checking which of the people were.
No problem. So what's in those books?
I mean, from stuff that I can glean, some really interesting history. I don't know a whole lot more about them than that. Apparently, there were some spin-offs and some crazy stuff that happened in this part of the world as well. I don't have, I don't know a ton about it. There's fairly loose references, I guess.
Tomes on mages in the possession of one of you. I think I know what clan you are.
Maybe.
As for the suit, the normal assumption I think I could guess, but I may be wrong because I've seen Malkavians dressed like that too.
Oh.
It would be a fair assumption.
Wakavian? A Wakavian?
Malkavian.
What is that?
It is a clan.
Okay.
Out of game. Is vampires discussing that kind of stuff in a neutral zone considered a
It's not specifically a faux pas.
masquerade breach?
No, because
no, it's
the
not
people that
mortal.
are around. Yeah, it's not mortal here. We're in with other supernaturals.
Yep.
So it's not really a big issue to talk about it when we're just privately talking about it like this. And really, throwing around the name like Malkavian or Tremere or Ventru or Giovanni wouldn't really be a breach of the masquerade per se, unless there's more definition to it. I haven't said vampires. I said one of your kind.
Right.
Yep.
In all of the conversation, I've never actually specified kindred or vampire.
I'm just trying to decide if Milan would actually care if anyone knew what clan he was. I know that there's a lot of stigma that goes with being Tremere, and
well, in V20 and earlier, Tremere are one of the high clans, as are Ventru.
Yep.
So a lot of the times they would be quite proud of that. In fact, The little jab about Malkavians towards Arthur, dressing in suits, might be enough to get him to be like, I'll have you know I'm a Ventru instead, you know?
I mean, don't the
whereas-
Malkavians come from Ventru? Weren't they?
No.
No.
Malkavian is a completely different clan, and they are the ones that house a lot of insanity.
They're
No,
crazy.
I know that. I thought I heard somewhere though that the Malkavians had like formed from some Ventru group called mental or something.
Nope.
Okay.
They are
Anyway,
completely different from a different antediluvian.
Yep.
Aptly named Malkav, but you know.
Yes.
all right. So all that in mind, then, when Vivian says she may know which clan Milan's from, he says, "You're probably right then."
Mm-hmm. We may have some dealings at some point then.
Shaw
I
just
don't
kinda looks
suppose
at
you know if there's any libraries here in town.
Well, yes, one of your own clanmates actually has quite an extensive one. It's from his family.
And you know this person?
Oh, yes. Of course I do. He's new to town, but his family has had a business here for a while.
Hmm.
I should have to meet this person.
Well, he carries the most magical name of them all, Merlin.
Oh, Merlin.
Yes.
Ailey smiles. He's a wonderful man.
Mm-hmm.
Indeed, I have met him. A gentleman and a scholar.
Yes.
Ah, yes, a fine teacher too.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I'll have to go talk to Merlin, assuming I don't get locked up when I go talk to the police.
Well,
Perhaps you go talk to him first.
or maybe you just have to talk to the right police officer. For the right price, I might be able to do something about that.
Quite the entrepreneur.
Always. I have to check something here. Contacts. I got to talk to my buddy about the contacts and stuff like that or I got to talk to John about contacts and such because I have allies and contacts pretty high. I'll just have to see if one of them's in the police. I thought I had put something in there, but I don't see it right now.
There you
Right
go.
then. So, if you want to go and speak to him, it's very easy to get to his store. Although it's and again air quotes closed. You just have to know where to go to get in.
Right. And I suppose there's a price for that.
Darling, everything I do to help people out has a price. And she just gives you an innocent blinking face.
He kind
Haley
of
just kind of
smirks a little
chuckles.
bit.
Did you say he raises his arms a little bit?
No, he smirked a little bit like, mm-hmm.
You don't get as old as I have in the kindred society without having skills that make you valuable. And, well, the price, of course, is there.
Well, I haven't been around a very long time, but I've been around long enough to see that in action.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Could be as simple as a favor, even. You know, something minor. In the future, I may have to call upon you for.
He just kind of nods his head. Yep. Yeah, I get it.
All you have to do is ask, and I'll be more than happy to show you.
Well, he pats his chest where he's got your card tucked in his shirt pocket.
Mhm.
I'll know how to get you.
Absolutely.
You think we've got the matter of your issues handled, gentlemen?
Perhaps Milan and I should make a call to the number that we received from that Bonnie girl.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's a good place to start there. At the very least, they'll have access to knowledge of how the local police works. Of course, they may also want favors.
They may.
Wow.
Shall finish up
Who-
here.
Who's taking possession of the trench coat? Is Ailey
We
keeping
have-
that?
Yep. She has reasons. I promise they're not creepy.
I trust you'll keep that safe.
You're gonna be
Like
okay.
my own child.
Hmm.
Hmm.
I'll find a way to get by without it.
You sure?
I think so.
It's brave of you to go without it.
We do what we must, I suppose.
You know, if you did take me up on the offer of a room, you could also have a tailor come up and suit you up with something a little more fitting for the area.
He looks down at his shirt. He's. You get the feel from the way he's sort of checking himself out right now that he doesn't really feel like he's out of place at all.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess you could always use a nice suit. Shrugs.
You've got my card.
I do.
I promise it won't be gone forever.
All right. Well, I should probably get going. Ali, it was nice seeing you again. Lovely time. Nice meeting you both. Say hello to your family for me. And
Oh,
Michelle,
I will.
give me a phone call and we will go out. We don't have to do golf, but maybe have a coffee or something at the local shop.
Sure. Sounds fine.
Does anyone else need anything before I go?
It was a pleasure meeting you.
I think we're all right.
The pleasure is all
Pat
mine.
your card in my vest pocket. If I need something, I will call.
Pardon?
I put the business card that you handed me
Mm-hmm.
in my vest pocket. It's like, if I need something, I will call.
Absolutely. It is a pleasure. Also, just in case you guys do need, I am a fairly good tracker. She'll stand up. She'll stand up. She'll swish her wine around, finish the glass, set it down, walk over to the bar, pay her tab, and head out.
All right. Well, hold on. Arthur, Michelle.
Hmm?
Is there anything that any of you need to discuss? I think I've gotten all my anything I had to say out of the way.
No, good. Is anybody looking into bodies or anything? Or
I'll be contacting someone that I presume is in the police and starting there. But if that doesn't go anywhere, then I'll just go talk to the police directly.
Okay.
Perhaps we could do that together, Milan.
Yeah, we could do that. If you'd like to come along, Michelle, of course you're always welcome.
Sure. I guess I won't be wearing this outfit next time.
We could make it a group thing, but I don't know how many people should show up at the police station.
I'm certainly I have no intention of going to a police station ever.
You sure?
So would you like to join us for the phone call?
I could join you for the phone call and sit in.
Ooh, we could make s'mores or something.
Ooh.
Well, that might be good for you. What are the rest of us to do?
I don't know. No idea.
Right.
Bring a sippy cup?
I usually eat before I leave.
Oh, there you go.
That's usually the last thing I do before I sleep.
Anyhow, I think I'm going to. He didn't actually drink anything, so he stands up, looks longingly at his trench coat.
Oh,
Michelle pats his arm. It's gonna be okay. Letting go is the first step.
Me and that coat, we've been through some stuff.
Lots of flashing, I get it.
no. I'll take good care of it. I promise.
I have your
She's
word
still-
now.
You have my word.
He kind of drops his head and kind of like almost in defeat, sort of shit. All right. Well, I have business to attend to. Before
Wait. Where are you staying? Where are you staying?
He rattles off some cheap hotel somewhere.
Thank you. She'll smile. You better be telling me the truth now.
I'll walk you out.
Are you going to come check in on me?
No. No.
That's where I'm at.
Simply making
Alright.
sure you aren't living on the streets.
Right.
No, but at some point I need to find something more permanent because hotel living is annoying, or long term anyway.
Well, this might sound weird. However, I am looking to acquire an apartment space that I can keep secret, for lack of better wording.
Okay.
Now, what if I hooked you up with a place? Has to be in your name, though.
It's
I
fine.
got the money for it. You stay there. But if I need to show up for some to get away from my regular everyday life, it's cool. Does that sound like a good plan? A
That
deal?
works for me. I can
I mean,
make sure it's protected.
you get a safe place to stay. I get a safe place to hide out.
Works for me.
All right. Well, let's we'll have to look into places that obviously suit both of our needs, but
I am also looking to securing a piece of my own property. I don't mind being the face of it. You guys are welcome to stay.
hmm,
Always nice to have friends in such trying times.
that's also an idea. What kind of properties now? You just looking to
Are you familiar with the Balmoral?
the what?
The Balmoral Hotel?
Um, out of character. It's an actual Scottish hotel, I'm assuming, and an old one.
It's an actual really nice
Okay.
hotel in Edinburgh.
Ailey would be familiar, yes. Ailey nods. I'm
Considering
familiar.
it's also got a historical landmark.
I'm familiar. You forget.
Although
This
I've not
home.
procured it yet, but I am attempting to slowly creep in.
All right, kids, I will see you all later. I'm gonna go.
All right, Michelle.
She gives a wave and heads out.
Milan waves.
Shaking
She
her
waves.
Kurt nods.
butt in a schoolgirl suit.
Yeah, I'm pretty much, yeah. Sauntering.
Yeah. All right. Well, yes, we can. Well, the three of us can get together later, perhaps, and discuss this somewhere more private.
Sounds good.
If we're going to do this, well, there's some things that we'll have to discuss, but again, not here.
That is fair.
Works
Well,
for me.
gentlemen.
I don't need a whole lot of fancy anything.
Okay. Well, we'll keep that in mind, but yes, the three of us will get together and work on this venture.
I am working on that hotel regardless.
Very
I don't
well.
mind if the apartment is in my name instead.
Perfect.
Very well. Yes,
Well, I should be off.
as should I. I don't want
And
my business partner thinking I have abandoned him. She does. She rolls her eyes again.
Well, as always, it's been a pleasure seeing you all.
She'll make sure Milan leaves before she does, so he doesn't have to see her leave with his precious baby.
Yeah, he walks off.
Okay. And
I return my empty
Ailey,
glass to the bar and leave.
he'll what?
Return my empty glass to the bar.
Oh, Ailey kind of leaves her. She'll pour part of her wine into the empty glass that Vivian left on the table before she got up to pay her tab. That way it looks like there's only 2 half-full glasses of wine, and she'll slip out after paying for her wine. Everybody done? Everybody good?
Yep.
Right.
I leave.
Thank you, players, for playing.
Thank you for having me.
Yes. This has been another episode of Shades of Edinburgh. Yeah. Have a good evening. Bye-bye.